to more trouble in Donald Trump's administration. Now, the media is in hysterics over a, yes, admittedly idiotic mistake by Trump's national security advisor, Mike Waltz. He somehow included a left-wing journalist who hates Donald Trump to a chat on Signal, a group chat, Signal being an encrypted messaging app, along with almost all Trump's top national security and intelligence officials, his vice president, his Secretary of State, his CIA chief, his Director of National Intelligence, and more. And on this group chat, these people were talking about bombing Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. Now, the leaked posts included one from the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, where he's actually giving the exact times when missiles and drones and warplanes would be unleashed on Yemen. Now, if these messages have been intercepted immediately, they'd have given the Houthis time to hide or prepare air defences or whatever. But Hegseth is still pretending this wasn't a gross security breach.
Nobody's texting war plans. There's no units, no locations, no routes, no flight paths.
Well, there's a liar there. All the same, this seems to me actually just a stupid mistake that is soon fixed. And far more dangerous, which isn't getting the attention, is something I warned about when Trump attacked Ukraine and its president, and instead treated Russian President Vladimir Putin as a friend, while Trump was trying to negotiate an end to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. Now, I predicted that trashing Ukraine would just encourage Putin. People were a number of Trump fans watching, and I apologise again for going on this, were upset with me. But Putin, we're now seeing exactly what I warned about. Putin hasn't only rejected Trump's call for a 30-day ceasefire. He's now said, OK, I'll agree to a temporary ceasefire, but only in the Black Sea, because that, by the way, is where Ukrainian drones have been sinking Russian warships and chasing them away. And Putin has demanded in exchange for what's actually advantage to him that the world first drop sanctions on Russian banks and agricultural exports. And all that's on top of Putin's earlier demand that Ukraine hand over 5 of its regions. This is a dictator who's not negotiating a ceasefire. He's demanding a total surrender of Ukraine because Trump has looked like he'd rather betray Ukraine than fight for it. Joining me is Sean Spicer, Trump's first White House spokesman. Sean Spicer, this leaked chat on Signal, President Trump was clearly not happy, although he was wearing the mask. His team is claiming no classified information or war plans were released. But that said, the Defense Secretary's post in this chat did include the timings of when warplanes, missiles and drones were individually taking off or being fired. How big a mistake is this?
Well, look, I've been around classified information for almost 3 decades, and there's a couple issues here. The first one is the platform acceptable. What the CIA director has said is that Signal, which is that messaging platform that they're talking about, was installed on their computers and their devices by the government. So therefore, that's okay. Then the next question is, was there classified information? Look, I think there's a difference between sensitive and sloppy and classified. Talking about the timing of an action isn't necessarily classified. I'd say it's sensitive, it's not helpful, it's sloppy. But in and of itself, to say something's going to happen at 2 o'clock without any particular targeting information or location information is really what makes it classified. So, you know, the president has said that they're going to learn from this and move forward. I hope that that's the case. And I think, you know, the bigger issue here is, again, remember, whether it was on Signal or anything else, the question is, why was a journalist brought into the group? So, you know, it's sort of getting lost in the discussion because you could be at the highest levels of classification. If you bring somebody into the conversation, that's the biggest problem.
Oh, sure is. It's astonishing that the cream, so to speak, of President Trump's security apparatus there, not one of them asked, who's this other guy in our chat group? Not one. I mean, it's just amazing. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, well, he's the one that added this journalist. He said, I don't know him from Adam, yet somehow included him. The president did defend Mike Waltz, but he did also suggest he smarten up and not do this sort of stuff again. How much trouble is Waltz in?
You know, Andrew, the way I think of this is if this goes on for another 2 days and another shoe drops, right? So, for example, Mike Waltz has said, I don't know the guy. And if there were, say, and here's the other thing, just to be clear, Jeffrey Goldberg, the scumbag journalist that put this out, if he's already admitted he's seen him at a couple parties over the last several years, but definitely not in the last couple of years. So he corroborates that. Now, if there were some kind of text chain or something like that showed differently, I think that would be an issue. But as far as I can tell, look, Trump's probably more upset that it was Jeffrey Greenberg more than anything else. And so what I think is going to happen is if this story doesn't get any additional oxygen, which it looks like it's over, then my guess is by the weekend, Waltz is in good shape. He's supposed to be headed on this trip with the Vances to Greenland, which I'm probably guessing that he's excited just to go to Greenland or, frankly, anywhere in the world that's not the White House right now, just to get away. And so, look, if he can get to Monday, I think he's probably fine.
You raise an interesting possibility there. Maybe Trump wants Greenland to be America's Siberia, where you send errant officials. But,
the bigger question
honestly,
isn't is he going to Greenland? Is he coming back from Greenland?
Oh, very good question. Very good question. Sean, I tend to agree with you that after this weekend, no more end, right? They'll learn, they'll fix, one would hope. To me, far more concerning is a story that got very little play, and that is Vladimir Putin doing exactly what I predicted, exactly what I feared, delaying and delaying, saying yes to the president's ceasefire proposal, figuring that Donald Trump wants to wash his hands of Ukraine anyway after the way he's been treating it, which I thought it was a mistake. Putin's latest demand is for a ceasefire just in the Black Sea, only in the Black Sea, to stop Ukraine attacking Russian shipping. It's driven Russia's navy out of the Black Sea. In exchange for just the ceasefire there, Putin wants Western sanctions on Russia, a lot of them to be dropped. How long before President Trump loses patience with Russia and not Ukraine?
I think the broader question is the ball moving forward, right? And does Putin abuse some of these incremental steps forward? So if Putin were to do something to undermine the trust that I think is being shown to him, the deference that is being shown him, then I think Trump's going to lose his mind because he sees the same media that you and I read. And if he is seen as Putin taking advantage of him, he's not going to stand for that. I mean, that's just, I think Trump wants a deal. You're absolutely right. But I think if he feels like Putin is taking advantage of him in some way, he's going to retaliate economically, militarily, something like that. Maybe it's commercially, but I think that there's no question that so far, at least, we're making incremental progress towards peace. It may not be huge. It may be something a little more than Putin wants, but so far it sounds like Ukraine is okay with this. I'm all for this. It's sort of like the old Reagan adage, trust but verify. So if we have to take some baby steps forward, I'm okay with that. But I share your concern. If Putin tries to take advantage of the situation, I think Trump's going to lose his mind.
Well, I think he's already taking advantage of it. Ukraine is not happy with dropping the sanctions in exchange for being stopped from keeping Russian warships out of the Black Sea. I mean, he is playing it, offering almost nothing, only things of advantage to Russia in exchange for massive concessions. So I reckon that game has got to be called out very, very soon. But Sean Spicer, we shall see. Things are changing so fast, you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.
You bet, sir. Take care.